The new movie, The Unbreakable Boy, just dropped in theaters. Did it tug at the heartstrings? Was it good? I'll let you know. Hi, everyone. My name is Bob, and welcome to Was It Good, where I give you my movie and TV show reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the new film, The Unbreakable Boy, which is an adaptation of the book of the same name and based on a true story. Now, before I get into the review, I do want to let you know that this review is going to be spoiler free. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't need to worry about any spoilers. Now, if you have seen it, I'd like to know what you thought. Why don't you go ahead and share your comments in the comment section below? Let me know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you think this was an inspirational story? Have you read the book, and do you like these types of films? I'd really like to know what you thought. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it. When Scott and Teresa learn that their son Austin is autistic and has brittle bone disease, they initially worry about his future. However, with Scott's growing faith and Austin's incredible spirit, they become unbreakable as they find joy, gratitude, and courage in the most trying of times. Now, I'll be honest, when I went to see this movie, I half expected to walk out of the theater and say this was just a generic feel good story where Austin overcomes a bunch of odds and you see him get his Rocky moment where he gets carried out on everybody's shoulders and everybody is happy at the end of the movie. And not that there's anything wrong with those types of movies because I actually tend to enjoy them for the most part, but I didn't think this was going to break the mold or do anything new. So now that I've seen it, was I right? Let me start out by saying that the film takes a very different direction from what I expected. Again, I expected it to focus on Austin, or as he calls himself in the movie, Ozman, and seeing him overcome the odds. And you do see that as he deals with several broken bones in his life and having to deal with his autism. But the film really centers on Scott and the feelings that he is dealing with. Now, Scott is Austin's father, and he's dealing with a lot of negative feelings about Austin's conditions because he feels that his son is broken and he wants to be able to help fix him. And because he can't do that, he feels very inadequate. And then there's other things that happen throughout his life that really just drag him down. And so he's trying to fix his son who is broken, but in reality, it's him who's broken. And his son sees the world in a very unique way. And his son is a catalyst that helps kind of bring this family together as they all learn to deal with Austin's conditions, and they all grow closer together as a family, and they all heal in their brokenness. The film has very unique moments as well that I think are very heartwarming between Scott and his son Austin, especially a couple towards the end that actually made me very misty-eyed, should say. I don't want to say I was crying, but there are several there towards the end that were really heartfelt, and some throughout the early portion of the film as you're seeing Austin having to deal with some of the things that he does that it just really gets to you and you really feel for this character. So overall, again, the film took a very different direction by focusing on the character of Scott and the family as a whole and how they dealt with Austin's conditions instead of just focusing on Austin and seeing him overcome everything. So I thought that was kind of unique and I enjoyed that. Next, there are several points in the film where you actually see the world through Austin's eyes, and how they did that I thought was very cool because he sees the world in a very unique way. For him, every day could be the best day ever. A milkshake could be the best milkshake ever. And so, because he has a very unique view on the world, when you see the world through his eyes, they did it in a very unique way, and I thought that that was really cool. Now, when it comes to the characters and the performances that went with them, I thought they were all very good. There's this character named Joe who's a lot of fun in the movie, and I really don't want to get into his character a whole lot, but when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, as far as the character of Austin goes, he was played by Jacob Laval, and he was absolutely great in this movie. His character is very lovable. There are times he just won't be quiet, and you see the parents react to that. And if you're a parent, you know what that's like. And only dial it up to a 10. But he's a lot of fun. His positivity towards life is very infectious, and you can't help but smile when you watch his character. And then the character of Scott, who's played by Zachary Levi, you see him trying to control everything, and he just can't do it. And again, as he's dealing with his son's brokenness, he's trying to fix everything and control things, and he's just not able to do it. And what Zachary Levi brings to this role, I thought was very good. And I really felt for this character. And then the interactions between the two of them were, again, very heartfelt. And there's some moments, especially towards the end of the film, where you just can't help but getting misty-eyed. So overall, the performances were very good. I just want to throw out one more as Meghann Fahy plays Teresa, and she's the glue that kind of keeps the family together. She's Austin's mother, and I thought she was great in the role as well. So overall, great performances, and I really enjoyed the characters. Now, there are a couple things that I want to mention here. First off, is that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from the Austin character, especially when I found out some of the other conditions that he had to deal with in real life. So, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more and have those added into the film because they really didn't touch on that. And I thought that would have been interesting to know and see in the film. So, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from him. Also, there are times where the film gets a little too cliche for this type of film. Stuff that you would expect. Nothing that really bothered me, but I did want to go ahead and point that out. But other than that, there's not really much I can say bad about this movie. Real quick, before I get into my final thoughts, I want to go ahead and remind you to go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel. Maybe I've reviewed something that you're interested in, or something that you've seen already and you'd like to let me know what you thought about it. Also, for those that are interested, I do have another YouTube channel with a couple of my friends where we put on a show called Dad's Turn to Talk. This is an opportunity for three dads to get together and talk about the things that we want to talk about, including movies, sports, pop culture, and yet have a little bit of fun at each other's expense. The link to that channel will be in the description below. Final thoughts. Was it good? I really enjoyed this one. Again, I thought this was going to be a generic feel good story where you've seen one, you've seen them all, but it took the story in a different direction. I enjoyed the characters. I thought the acting performances were pretty good. And overall, it made me feel something. So I really liked this one. Now, is this the type of movie that people are going to run out to the theaters to see? Probably not, but I do think the general audience will enjoy this one. If you like feel good stories like the movie Wonder, I do think you're probably going to enjoy this one, and I say go ahead and check it out. Now, if you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.